I know people will judge me, but this is my truth. A friend reached out and asked if I could decorate an apartment for a surprise proposal. Her sister's fiancé was planning to pop the question that weekend. I said yes immediately. I was still a small business owner, but hungry for referrals and opportunities, and I felt grateful she thought of me. I poured my heart into the setup, arranging candles and flowers, stringing balloons and lights across the ceiling until the room looked like a romantic paradise. Friends and family slipped in quietly, hiding in corners, waiting for the perfect moment to shout, "Congratulations!" When everything was ready, he walked her in, hands shaking. He pulled out a velvet box with the engagement ring. Then he knelt and asked her to marry him. Immediately, everyone started shouting, "Say yes, say yes, say yes." She froze. For a heartbeat, she looked shocked, and I don't know if it was me, but she looked scared too. Because anyone could process it. She shook her head, whispered, "No," and ran out. The room went silent. No one knew what to say. I watched him stand there, still holding the ring as if he couldn't believe what just happened. Oh, that shit is crazy. Oh. Thank God you already paid me in full, because at that point, I wouldn't have known how to ask for a balance or, worse, payment, if I hadn't requested for my full money first. After everyone left, I stayed behind to help him clear up. He looks like someone who had lost a piece of himself. I didn't have the right words, so I just stayed, quietly packing balloons and stuff, letting him breathe. I noticed the ring, beautiful, elegant, timeless, and the branded box. Later that night, I called to check on him. Just a simple, "Are you okay?" That single call turned into two. Two became late-night conversations. Soon, we were talking about everything, from heartbreak, life, and silly little things that made us laugh. Aww. We swapped stories, shared old wounds, encouraged each other. Friendship crept in, quiet and unhurried. Weeks became months. Our conversation grew softer, warmer. We shared inside jokes, argued over music, recommended books, debated which food was best, and I don't marry, and which one was trash. Sometimes we stayed on the phone for hours, laughing about nothing. He healed slowly, and somehow I became part of that healing. One evening, he asked if we could meet for dinner. Just us. That was the night I saw a different side of him. Kind, warm, confident. A year later, he led me back to that same apartment. The lights were low, like that night long ago. But there were no hidden guests, just us. He took a deep breath and knelt in the very spot where his heart had been shattered. Make it invite people, make let's just continue. Only this time, his eyes were steady, full of love for me. I said yes, through tears. And in that room, where one love had ended, ours began, tender and alive. But like every love story, not everyone was happy. There's always something that's gonna happen, bro. My friend was furious. She said I had betrayed her trust, stolen her sister's man, broken their relationship. She swore she would spoil my name and business, and promised to tell the world I seduce and sleep with my clients. Mutual friends called, speaking of our sister code. They said I had crossed a line, even though I hadn't known our sister before that day. Then the sister herself reached out, accusing me of stealing her man and threatening to scatter our wedding. I chose not to reply because I knew the truth. I hadn't stolen anyone. We had built something carefully out of pain, step by step, with respect for the wreckage behind us. Nobody had the right to judge or criticize that. 2 years later, we are still married. Looking back, I see how life sometimes writes its own scripts. Messy, unpredictable, full of turns and you never imagine. Love doesn't always arrive wrapped in perfection. Sometimes it grows from broken places, betrayals and even pain. Sometimes it's born not from first sight, but from first flight, and against every odd, it becomes home. Now, hearing this story, do you think the planner did a bad thing? Do you genuinely think yes, it was that engagement that brought her and that guy together? But do you genuinely think she did the wrong thing by finding love? Because at the end of the day, Love will not tell you this is who you are to find it with. It just happens. So what do you think? Drop your genuine, comments.